G'day folks, this short clip is just going to introduce you to the concept of a tracking kit. Trackers use a whole range of different tools. One of the things as a tracker myself I've used a lot all through my professional career as a military tracker, but also now in a recreational sense, is binoculars or optics, a good set that you have with you, that you're utilising all the time as part of your observational repertoire. Not just to be pulled out to look at a distance, but to be pulled out to look 5 to 4 metres away from you, so you can actually ascertain, is that a track, is it not a track? A lot of people don't view binoculars in that way. They're an optic, they magnify your field of vision. Use them. If you're carrying them, you may as well put them to good use. The other fundamentals, I'm just going to reconfigure the camera for you and I'll pull out a basic tracking kit. Not definitive in any way, shape or form. Every tracker has their own bits and pieces that they add or subtract to the equation. Fine. Don't get wrapped around the axle about it. Don't die in a ditch over it. Tracking is a very personal skill set, and it should be so. Now, let's see what is actually in my particular kit at this point in time. Okay, here's my particular kit that I'm using for when I'm just doing recreational tracking, where I'm out and about, dedicating myself to the process of tracking. And I'm usually, these days, tracking animals, not so much people, particularly people with guns. That all said, I want to be able to make certain I can capture good information about what I'm seeing when I'm out and about. So I have it in a satchel that I can carry with me. I have a basic sketch kit. In tracking you do a lot of sketching, you need some basics. You need a decent set of pencils, an eraser and a decent pencil sharpener. That's going to let you sketch what you see on the ground. Now a lot of people just rely these days, particularly on technology. I do both. I photograph and I sketch, and if I've got to send information back, what I've been teaching search and rescue people to do these days is sketch, photograph the sketch, send that back with any photographs, so you've got a way of capturing more detail in your imagery. There's a Ready Reckoner, just a Buick Tui, full of mainly reports and report formats, a waterproof notebook as a diary, a fairly ruggedized magnifying glass. Sometimes that helps considerably just to pick up small detail, and it does definitely help with setting up your sketches. On the sketching front, a nice clear blank paper notebook that I utilise to capture the sketches on. Good, big enough to catch the detail, small enough to go in the packet. That'd normally be all waterproof, particularly this time of the year where we are at the moment. It's the wet season. Some crate tape. I use crate tape to mark particular points of interest on the track for me. That way if I do accidentally leave it behind, which is not the recommended course of action, I can be rest assured that it's going to degrade and return to nature. Plastic tapes last forever. I'm still picking up plastic tapes on the property we operate here on that have been here probably 10 years. So don't use plastic marking tape. Gloves for picking up evidence or scat, anything I need to keep my hands clean with. I usually have an optics cleaning brush and some optics cloth with me. That's part of the necessity. If you're using optics, you need to keep them maintained and cleaned. A small measuring tape that I use to document the detail on the sketches and the diagrams and measure things and record information about the sign that I'm particularly interested in at that time. And then just some plastic bags, Ziploc bags with a white band on them that is able to be notating the good coordinates and the date time group for what I'm capturing. That's simple. That's pretty well all I've got in this one at the moment. There's a few other things you can add and subtract. That's a personal preference. So go out there and fill your boots. Get into it, do some sketching, practice your sketching. Sketching is not a dead art. Don't let technology get in the way of your ability to capture good information on paper with pencil. Make sure you've got your tracking kit with you, guidebooks for the area that you're going to be operating in. In Australia it's practically down to Barbara Trigg's book on tracking science, scats and other signs in Australia, and get out there and do some tracking, get some dirt time, start looking at things and being mindful of the environment you're in. So that's a simple tracking kit. Have a look at what I've put together, work out what works for you, and then go and put it into practice. Chop and change it. Don't follow some book recipe for what needs to be in a kit. If you're not using it, it's of no use. Things like paddle pop sticks are great for things like learning to track, learning to mark out particular things. After a while, you'll be tuned in, you won't need those, and you're not going to include them in your basic kit. Okay? So make it useful. See you out there in the bush. Have a good one.